Bite the bullet.
To get something over with because it is inevitable. For example, Brian was diagnosed with second-stage cancer, but he didn't want to get chemotherapy. By the will of his wife, he bit the bullet.
Blow off steam.
Experiencing strong feelings like anger or stress. For example, Chloe went running to blow off steam, as she had a huge fight with her mother.
Bury the hatchet.
Ending a quarrel to make peace. For example, our father buried the hatchet by equally dividing the pasta between me and my brother.
Cut no ice.
Fail to make an impact. For example, Adam's poetry cuts no ice with his girlfriend.
Down for the count.
Tired, giving up. For example, my dog is down for the count after playing the whole day with the frisbee.
Draw the line.
To stop before a point where something okay gets not okay. For example, hey Sam, that's enough. Please draw the line before someone comes and beats you to a pulp.
Easier said than done.
Not as easy as it appears to be. For example, listen, Jack. Losing weight is easier said than done. Many people lack commitment.
Face the music.
Face the reality. For example, Larry, if you lied to me, then you will just have to face the music. Another example, Priyanka asked her husband to not run away from the problem and just face the music once.
Give it a whirl.
To give something a try. For example, Albert is absolutely terrified of skydiving, but he thinks once his life he will give it a whirl.
Go the extra mile.
To make an extra effort. For example, Andrew was willing to go the extra mile for the forever love of his life, Sandra.
Hit the books.
Going to study. For example, Billy won't be able to come for dinner, as he has to hit the books for his half-yearly examinations.
It is always darkest before the dawn.
Things will get better. For example, I know you have gone through the worst, but remember it is always darkest before the dawn.
In the fast lane.
A life filled with excitement. For example, when Samuel turned 40, he decided to live his life in the fast lane and quit his job for his hobbies.
Jump the gun.
To act on something promptly before the right time. For example, I think I jumped the gun by sending the email before they told me the time.
Look before you leap.
Calculate the risks before advancing towards a possibility. For example, you can't just sell all of your shares. When the market is low, look before you leap and the shares may grow.
On thin ice.
In a precarious or risky situation. For example, Robert played hooky from work for a week, saying he was sick and now his boss said that he is on thin ice.
Palm off.
Pass off something as genuine when it is spurious. For example, this shopkeeper always palms off old stock to the customers.
Pour out one's heart.
To express openly. For example, when I asked her what was the matter, she burst into tears and poured out her heart to me.
Read between the lines.
Understanding the real message behind something. For example, hi, if you try to read between the lines, this poem is actually about the happiness.
Rain on someone's parade.
To spoil a moment. For example, Lucas told his wife that he didn't want to rain on her parade, but they had to shift their vacation dates.
Snug as a bug in a rug.
Warm and cozy. For example, the baby looks as snug as a bug in a rug, next to her mother.
Step up your game.
To start performing better. For example, Grandpa said that Jenny better step up her game if she wants to make big in basketball.
Take a rain check.
Postpone a plan. For example, John asked me whether I would like to have dinner with his family, but I had a thing, so I said, take a rain check.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Don't take it too seriously. For example, she tells great tales, but people take whatever she says with a grain of salt.
To have sticky fingers.
Thief. For example, the staff had a sticky finger. He stole around $1,000 and ran away from the bank.
To be in the doldrums.
To be in a low spirit. For example, when he got to know about the increasing cases of COVID-19 in his area, he was in the doldrums.
To cook the books.
To alter facts and figures. For example, the accountant was charged with cooking the books, and now he's in jail.
To jump from a frying pan into fire.
To come out of one trouble and get into a worse. For example, he ended up jumping from the frying pan into the fire when he started his new job at a company.
To not see the wood for the trees.
To be so involved in trivial matters that you don't get the important facts. For example, they always argues on the silliest topics. It's like they can't see wood for the trees.
Tuck in.
To encourage someone to start eating something. For example, our mother cooked some delicious food and asked us to tuck in.
Turn a deaf ear.
To ignore what someone is saying. For example, whenever her mother complained of her excessive use of her mobile phone, Grace turned a deaf ear.
Twist someone's arm.
To convince someone. For example, he was not planning to come to the party, but by reminding him of all the good food, they twisted his arm.
Up in the air.
Not yet decided. For example, the whole future of the project is still up in the air.
Up a creek without a paddle.
In an unlucky situation. For example, Mick has no savings So if he gets fired from his job, he will be up the creek without a paddle.